The Prime Minister has been visiting small businesses as he continues to sell the government's big spending budget. The largest splurge in the budget was actually on extending small business tax write-offs. Here's Alan Kohler with his analysis of how these businesses are benefiting and why the government is targeting them.
In January, the Treasurer Josh Frydenberg did a doorstop at Katie Graham's family love tree homeware shop and cafe in Chapel Street, Prahran, to talk about the importance of JobKeeper and the cash flow boost. And then in his post-budget speech to the National Press Club on Wednesday this week, he remembered the family love tree.
I spoke to Katie this week and her business is now back on its feet. She has kept all her staff and taken on a new one who was previously unemployed, and said that without the help of the federal government, her business would have folded and she feared she would have lost her house.
He did that because the budget he just brought down was not mainly about aged care or childcare, but small business care. It was a big spending budget, but the biggest spending was on extending the small business tax write-offs. $21 billion over 4 years. And that's on top of the previously announced cut in the small business tax rate to 25%, an increase in the SME loan guarantee, and a new appeals regime to protect small business from the dreaded tax office.
Mr. Speaker, small and family businesses are the engine room of our economy.
Well, actually, Mr. Speaker, they're not. It's true that they employ the most people, but they haven't been responsible for employment growth. Quite the opposite. And they're not planning to increase employment by as much as the larger businesses either. But one thing small businesses do seem to be really good at is avoiding tax. This chart refers to the gap between what the ATO collected in 2017-18 from various business sectors and what it estimates it would have collected if there'd been 100% compliance with the tax laws. Small companies accounted for 44% of the gap, large companies 15%, even though the conventional wisdom is that big corporates are the big tax avoiders. Don't get me wrong, small business people like Katie Graham are the salt of the earth, and I'm sure she pays all of her tax. We'd be lost without them. But let's not kid ourselves that they're mainly responsible for employment growth or tax revenues. They got money in the budget because there's lots of them, and they vote